What is going on, brothers and sisters? Welcome back to Techtonica. Today, we are going to look more into some advanced crafting. Now that we are in this area here, we need to make conveyor belts, we need to make power floors, and we need to make inserts. We need a metric poop ton. So how are we going to do that? We're going to do that freaking automation, baby. We're factory workers. So I'm gonna build an assembly factory right here. I kind of carved this out a bit. I think that's where I want to be. I want to show you a couple things I've done in the meantime. So I found this nice spot over here just to the west of where our repairable service thingy is, and it had a little bit of iron and it has a fair bit of copper. Oh, looks like everything's out of juice here. Let's fix these up. It's okay. Bam. So you can see in the background here, I've got a copper node. Now, I do want to say, I didn't realize this when we were first playing in the last episode, but these nodes are depletable. So I can already tell by looking at this here, you can kind of see this one is almost drilling into nothing right now because the wall that was here is gone. And it's the same with this iron node. The iron here that I had is almost completely gone as well. Oh, this one's out of fuel. Flop some of these in. So this thing is almost gone. It looks like there's some stuff up there that didn't quite connect. So that's interesting. So I'm gonna have to like build some platforms in order to connect that. Yeah, like these aren't connected here. So I can readjust these and bring them up higher. What did I just fall into? Ah, fell on the ground. All right. So these are mine, and you can kind of see they're all paused right now. I'm going to just kind of top some of these up with what I do have on me just to get rid of some space. Oh. Pop that in here. Pop that in here. And actually, let me grab half of this. I'm just going to do this just to keep things moving for a moment. Not totally necessary because this is probably almost full. Oh no, I took a bunch. You can see I've got a lot of iron on me right now. But our miners aren't going because these had stopped production here. There they go. Everything's moving fine. So those will catch up eventually. So we'll let that go. You can see our copper's looking fantastic here. Just a quick overview. So if you didn't see my video, I'll put a link to it at the end, but I figured out kind of like how to get a good basic factory started. With every 3 miners you have, you can use 2 of the outputs here. The third one is useless with the speed they're at now. 2 works just fine to get everything out until you get some upgrades. So, and then you get 3 of those to 4 smelters. So for every 3 miners at a basic level, you need 4 smelters. So, and with that, you can see the last one doesn't quite fully utilize. If we overclock these by like, I don't know, 15, 20%. If that's even possible. You probably don't need a third one, but for now, that's how it's working. You can see we got a splitter there. So it's all coming in here, and then they're just being stored in here for the moment. So I'm actually going to grab all those so I can have some good stuff on me. And I need to filter these bars now out over here. So I'm going to just grab our belts, and actually, I'm probably going to want a little bit more of those. So I'm just going to start queuing a handful of those up. So if I start like this. Oh, I'm like, why won't it let me? So if we go up here, I'm not going to be too worried about making this super pretty right now. I'll come back at some point and make it look good again, but oh, I guess I can't get down there though. It's all right. I'll just do this. Do that there, and then I'll just drag these across here. Switch these out. And I need to go way down here, right? So let me show, yeah, we're going over here essentially. You can kind of see my area. So I think I'm just going to cut across here. Okay. I've got our 2 lines here. So I've got my box of iron coming over here now, and I've got my box of copper, and over here, why don't we take a little adventure? You can see here, I've got a nice little conveyor belt set up here. in a whole nice little tunnel that brings us right back to where the tutorial first started off, okay? So once I realized that some of these nodes were, well, they were all non-replenishable, they weren't infinite, and they degraded over time, I created this little system here, and you saw it if you saw my last video on how to set up a factory, that I set up another small one over here, and you can see everything's just paused because this is maxed out at the time, so there's just no room, so they won't produce more. But we can start using this as well, and I'm going to do a similar thing with the copper and send that up here. Not necessarily on this belt. I'm going to have it go up and over. Right now it just looks cool like this, so I'm keeping it. But it's going to go along the backside here most likely, and I'm going to send the copper down from over here. So I'll do that. Not now, but I'll see what I need because I haven't used the assemblers yet, so I got to figure out how much product I need to be moving, how much I actually even need to have for production here. Do I need to combine my iron lines, etc.? So we have a little bit of stuff to figure out, but I thought this was pretty neat. Let me know in the comments down below how you like my little tunnel here. And now we need to set up assemblers and power. So I made 5 cranky anchors right here. And I'm just going to plop them all right here. And the neat thing with these is, so obviously they're hand powered, but they last for 2 hours. So that's really convenient. So even though these are done by hand, you only have to deal with them every 2 hours. So it's a great little starter thing, that's for sure. And you can see the path is now blue. If I disconnect this, you see this is blue and that's not. That means there's no power. Power, no power. Power. So you can see that all this now has power, and it doesn't go down the stairs because there's no connection here, but it does go downwards. So like if I connected these here, see if I can get it to work. Like, oh, maybe not. That's interesting. I wonder why that's not connecting, because that should definitely connect. Weird. We'll have to test that more often. But we can see this is all connected, and for now, that's all that really matters to me. So let's start our first assembly lines. I'm even gonna just delete this back a bit. Not sure where I want to begin. So I've got a few assemblers here, right here. I've got 10 of them. So you can see they have a lot of inputs and a lot of outputs. So this is what I'm thinking. I think I'm gonna go this direction, like this. And then I'm gonna have to set one line up for copper and one line up for iron. So like a couple sides here, because some of these things I need to make, like these are just copper, so that's fine. And then some are copper and iron, and then some are going to use other parts as well. So I really need to figure out a strong system. So I'm thinking if I take this, and I even need to delete this a little further back here, I believe. Let me delete you too. And I bring you guys just kind of over here like this. Okay, that's a little ugly. Just do one of these here real quick. I've got the parts for it. Do this. And then I bring it up here. So this will be my iron line. I'll put my copper line down the middle here. So I'll do this. And we'll set this one up for, let's see, what do I need to make? So conveyor belts. I'm going to need iron and copper components. I'm going to need to make power floors, which is copper wire. This was iron components, copper components. And then the last one was this, which is mechanical components, which are these. So we'll set this one up to be mechanical components. So this is going to require iron and copper. So we'll set this up. I'm not going to connect it yet. So we'll plop these in here. And then I'll do the same thing here. And then if I do something like this, for instance, do that, and then I can connect this after. I just don't want to connect them yet. I don't want these to start already getting backed up. So these will filter through now once I connect both of these, and we'll start getting copper and iron input into here. And I want them at even rates because I don't know if this will fill up or if they'll each fill up. So we'll have to see. Oh, you know what? We can test it. Okay, it doesn't allow the extras to go through. Good to know. So we'll have that ready so we can actually connect these now. That's not a big deal. So these are connected. You can see this will be working just fine. So I need to figure out outputs, because what am I going to need these components for? We need to use these to make, was it the floors? Nope, it was these things. So I'm going to have to figure that out eventually. But first, let's just move on. So let's grab another one of these. I'm going to leave some space in there so that way if I do have these come out, I can send up conveyor belts like this and send these products elsewhere and over these other ones. So I'll leave that down as a template there. Okay, and I'm going to actually need a few more inserters. So we'll just have a few of these crafting while we wait. And, oops, the mousing is a little awkward in this game. They got to fix that up a bit. All right, that's good. And I probably want to set this up on a loop eventually. We'll see, though. So if we do this now, so I now have... So for the inserters, I've got the mechanical components ready. And I could go... You take this a step further. If I bring up my factory out this way, for instance, I can put my iron items on this side that only use iron. And I can have room in the future for other production. So just because, for instance, that's the only combination I need at the moment to progress so I can make these. But there are other things, I believe, that would require both. No? Is that the only one? That's the only one that requires both. That's goofy. So if that requires both, and then you know what? I'm going to set up a different production line. I'm going to remove this, and then I'll just have, I'll snake this around. So then why wouldn't I just do this? If I do something like this, yep, that'll work. And then like that. I don't want these to connect just yet. Good. If I do something like this, and then like this, and then I connect it here. So they'll filter around in a circle now. So they'll all be hitting all these machines. And then if I do something like this, bam, 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 switch it around town. It's pretty decent. All right, and now we got copper production. Ooh, I need 3 actually. So I should be able to fit one more here. So if I just bring this out here. How am I doing on those? I'm pretty low on those too. I need to make some by hand while I'm waiting. Okay. So let's grab this bad boy. 1, 2 more like this. That'll give me enough space. That's missing here. Okay. Now I can bring this around here. I'll even give myself a little bit of extra space on this side just in case. Connect that over there. It's a beautiful site. And now they're in a full loop. So even if we get backed up, it'll keep moving. And that'll be my copper production. If I need to move anything off, I can put splitters in. So that's good. We're gonna need more of these things too. Do I need all these? Probably not, but they're cheap. So why wouldn't I just have them anyways? Why not just be prepared? Just get a few of those cranking out. And that's great. So let's get copper going. So if I work down the line here, I'm just going to start with cubes. I'm going to go with copper components. And then I'm going to go with copper wire. So now these will filter out. And then I can set up production going this way, perhaps, to use all those. I'll figure that out after. Let's get iron taken care of. I'm going to do the same thing, and I'm going to build that way. So why don't I grab... maybe from here. Just go out like this a bit. That'll be okay, at least for the moment, so we can get a start for what we want to do. Now, I'm just going to get rid of these because they're bugging me. I don't like to see shit like that. And then I'm going to loop this around. So I'll do the same kind of thing I did over here. And how many do I have? Let me see. We'll worry about the outputs after. I think this is in line right here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, great. Now, then I've got some spacing here. Let's switch sides on me. There we go. I think that's enough. Ah, one off. Oh, I'm low on resources. All right, I'm just gonna grab what I need for the moment here. There we go. Toss this down. Just when you think you're fully prepared, right? Plop it here. And then let's grab our belts. And we're gonna wrap them this way. That looks pretty big. No, it's supposed to be 4 squares. That's what I did over here, right? Yes. It's just the first one that I have that looks a bit goofy because of the input. I've got 1, 2 spaces coming right off of this. So like 1, 2. It should be over here, I guess. Okay, I've got the spacing I want to see. So if I bring these over here now, I'm going to need a few more of those. I've got them built now, though. Bring that out real quick. Something like this. Something like that. And I'm just going to do the same thing to here. Just connect those in. Is it too close? It's too close to this corner. So what I can do instead is this. If I just delete this out here first real quick, make a curve here, and then just bring it up like this, that'll get us all settled and squared away. Perfect. So now it's going to go through there. Everything's going to loop around. I've got plenty of these again, so let's put all these down here, and then we can set up our basic iron productions as well. I can't wait to see all the different optimizations that we can figure out along the way. Obviously, I'm just kind of plopping shit down at the moment to figure out what works, and then we can figure out our mapping system. I kind of wish... I hope I can, when I upgrade these a bit, it gives me a little more utility. I know I've seen the long ones, so the long ones are nice. All right, so I've got iron frames. I've got iron components, and that actually might be the only iron thing I have. Yeah, that's it for iron itself. Just gonna go down and double check a few things here. The mold, that we don't need these automatically made for us. Okay. It's interesting that we can use these to make production values though, so that's awesome. So we don't need this one, so what I will do is I'm just going to erase these. Okay, not like, I don't want to erase the floors, but thank you. That works, and then I'll give that some space here. Connect these in here, and then that'll be our new route. Okay, so that's good. So now these are working just fine. We need to set up some output. So I do want to get these set up to actually be utilized appropriately. So first thing I want to do is I want to set up this one here is my first main one. So this output is full. It is the mechanical components, right? So we need mechanical components to set up, what was it? The inserters. So I can set up something basic, kind of like this. I think that's enough space for me to work with here. So if I take And honestly, I probably only need one here. I'm going to put this one here, but then I'm going to put an output here. I was going to see if they took them from each other, but they don't take them from each other. So I got to put it on the belt here. So these will do that. And then this will get set to, I need this to make inserters. So if I set that up here, so this will be inserters. I can move this out. And then the other component I'm going to need for this are iron components. And that one's being made in this factory right here. Right? Yeah, that's the components here. So I'm going to plop down 2 of these. And then I'm going to do this here. So I'm going to go like this. And I'm going to plop one of these down. Actually, I'm not going to be able to do it that way. I got to do it. Whoops. Got to do it like this so we can get up and over. And I think I'm going to stay. Actually, I think I'm going to allow this to just be one line above, perhaps. So you can then just go over these other ones. Obviously, if they start to get low, you're going to have to work with something. But if I do this, and I go, I'm trying to figure out the best way for me to bring this in. You know what? It's probably going to just be along this side here. So why don't I just grab an inserter? Like that. And then I'm going to put a roadmap here. I'm going to do one of these. And then we'll bring this down. And I think I just want this to come back up and around. So I'm just going to put one of these here so I can connect this. And this will do a loop. So I'm not sure exactly how I want these loops to go, but at least for the moment, this will be fine. Oh, I need to make this one further away. My bad. Can't make those loops too close to each other. It doesn't work that way. So if I do it like this instead, and then give this a turn, give that there you go. Now the loop is complete. So we can even, you know, make it look nice like this, make it look a little more factory-esque. There we go. So now we've got this happening, except that's facing the wrong way. There you go. And let's get this out here like this. So for now, this will work. Maybe in a different life, I'll put them into a chest and then set them up to go in a different direction. So now we've got this here, so they're going to be taking from here. They're going to spin in a circle, so that way they can just be fully utilized. How many does this need? It needs... Not even sure, honestly, but... Figure it out here in a minute. Now, these I will put in a chest. So I'm going to dump out... I'm just going to put a chest, like, over here, just kind of in obscurity. Do something like this. Do that. And then I think I'm even going to just go like this. Just do something like this right here. And then I'm going to plop one of these down. So this will just be my output over here. There we go. That'll work. So, and from what I'm seeing here, I want to see. I'm just going to plop this down so I can see the recipes more easily. So to make these, what am I making? I'm making these. It needs 3 components and 2 mechanicals. So why don't I actually make this a little bit more efficient here? And I'm going to do this. I got that one going the wrong way though. Put you back in here. And do that. And then instead we're going to do something like this, and then you'll loop around like that. Delete that out though. And then I'll do that. So now you can connect in here, and now we'll have 3 of them grabbing at a time. And I'll probably just do the same thing here then. So if I just do one of these, do this, do that. Perfect. And then I'll do an output on this one. Oops. There we go. Now we're outputting these. So every time these grab, they're going to be doing a full cycle here. It would be better if I looped this, though. But for the moment, this will just kind of have to do. I don't have a good way to loop back in such a small circle, so this will just have to be adequate enough, at least for the moment. It's not a big deal, so I think we'll be just fine. So even those are actually picking up at the same speed, so if I put an output here, we'll be better off. We should be moving pretty efficiently with that, because they're just going to keep trading hands. They're not going to move faster than each other. And now we're manufacturing automatically inserters. I don't know why I picked the most difficult one to really do first, but everything's pretty set now. So now all I have to do if I want to branch this out is just put a line off of this, and I can create another production factory. So, and that's what we're going to do in the next episode here. We're going to finish off the other productions we need to set. So we'll set up ones for conveyor belts, and we'll set up ones for power floors. So for the power floors, I'm going to need iron. So I'm going to have to feed in the ingots, and I'm going to need copper wire. So I'll take, is it this one here? Nope, that's the out. That's that. I've got copper wire down here. So I'll set up an output. I'll probably just ship it right over the copper line here. And I've got iron ingots going in a loop over there. So I'll probably just put a source out, maybe, I don't know, maybe I'll just split down here somewhere. Yeah, I'll probably just split it down here, or maybe I'll even start grabbing some of it from over here that I've got this iron just all ready and raring to go. That's probably the better idea, actually. I'll probably just feed pure iron from over here, and I'll leave that iron for production purposes. And I can do the same thing with copper. I can set up a line coming up here as well. So in the next episode, I'll show you how to set up a new copper line downstairs. We'll bring all that over, and then we'll finish off the production with the assembly as well. So if you're excited for that and you're loving this, make sure you're hitting that like button down below. Leave me comments as well. Let me know what you think of the game so far and how your games are going. And as usual, I hope the rest of your day is not too shabby.